Hello, besties! Today I am going to be doing a life update Q&A. On my Instagram, I've been filming a Q&A, and you guys have been putting in your questions. So over the past few stories that I've done that, I've just kind of made a list. So I'm going to be answering the ones that I think that are mostly asked and that you guys probably want to know. So first question, how old are you? I just turned 25 years old, which is literally crazy. I feel like I was just 20 years old, so time is flying. I mean, I'm still young, but that just is like a huge number to me. But yes, just turned 25. Second, oh, hi Leo. What is your sign? I am a Leo. My birthday is July 29. And fun fact, my fiance is also a Leo, and my mom's a Leo, and my dad's a Leo. So we're a huge Leo family over here, but love my sign. Okay, next. Best and worst of New York City. So I would say the best part of New York City is just like how freeing it feels to be here and how no one really cares who you are, what you wear, what you're doing. That's truly what I love about New York City. I feel like it's so... Hi, I'm filming a video. So I would say the best of New York City, like I was saying before I got interrupted, is that no one cares who you are in the city, and I absolutely love it because not only for fashion and even just for who you want to be as a person, New York City kind of just paves the way so you can do whatever you want. When I lived in LA, I feel like it was like a different vibe, and if you guys have been watching me for a long time, I lived in LA for a year before I moved to New York City, and it was just a different vibe. It wasn't as freeing as New York City. Worst of New York City, I would say the worst is, I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about New York, but honestly, I would say the traffic sucks. And like the certain times of the year when it's just so crowded and you're like, oh my goodness, and it just takes forever to get around the city. But I am very grateful to be living uptown because uptown, you kind of just don't get that vibe, get that overcrowded vibe. So, but other than that, and maybe like the rats running around the street, but other than that, like I don't have a lot of bad things to say about New York City. I think it's such a great city for opportunity, and I feel like everyone should move to New York City at some point in their life, especially when you're in your young years. What are some tips for someone wanting to move to New York City? Okay, this is a good one because I feel like New York City is not an easy city to tackle by any means. Okay, it's the best city, but it really takes some time to get adjusted to the lifestyle, to also the price point. It is very expensive living in New York City, and just like getting accustomed to just budgeting and picking and choosing. So I would say a big tip for wanting to move to New York City is just budget and like save before you move here. If you can, like whatever you're doing, just try to be mindful of the costs that comes with moving to New York City. I'm not saying that to like discourage people, but it is just kind of the reality of the city. So that would be like my main tip of wanting to move to New York City, just being mindful and just prepping yourself for being in the city. I would say another tip for moving to New York City is just being yourself and putting yourself out there. When I moved to the city, I definitely went to a lot of dinners and going out and this and that, and sometimes you just have to do that because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have met my fiance. So definitely put yourself out there. I feel like with fashion, with your friends, with just even work, like just take those meetings that you might have not taken in the past, because trust me, like you never know who you might meet, and it really is the best place to do that. How is wedding planning going? So wedding planning is going. I feel like right now I've really started the process. I feel like I've been planning since I got engaged. I've been kind of looking at some venues and X, Y, and Z, but I am a picky girl. I'm very picky, and the process of trying to find a venue and trying to see what location you want. Do you want it in the Northeast? Do you want it in the South, like in Miami? And no, we're not having it in Miami, but there's just a lot to think about. So it's going, and I feel like we've landed on a location which is really nice and a venue. So obviously I'm not going to share that quite yet because I kind of want to take you guys along the whole journey and all the details, but it's going. How did you get started with influencing? So I've talked about this in previous videos, but it started all in COVID. I was at Notre Dame and I just basically was taking photos. I literally bought my own like Frankie's bikinis, of course. Like I purchased all of my bikinis because all I was doing was just laying out, doing online classes, that's it. And then they kind of found my pictures and they posted me, as well as meeting Lydia was the best thing ever. We met her through my friend Court, who you guys have seen in a lot of my vlogs. And yeah, she just kind of started this account called Internet Girlfriend. If you guys know, you know. And because of Internet Girlfriend, I feel like that kind of jump-started a lot, as well as just like Frankie's bikinis. And that's why I absolutely love Frankie's bikinis and these like original brands that have kind of like seen me before anything happens, because I literally owe them my life to this day. But that kind of started, and then I was still at Notre Dame and Lydia was like, please move to LA, please move to LA. And I was like, I really should, like if I'm trying to explore this route. So I kind of just ran with it. I asked my mom, can I move to LA? She said no. My parents are very strict. I came from a very strict family and education was number one, so they didn't want me to fall behind by making that choice of moving to LA. I'm the oldest of 3 sisters, so because I'm the oldest, they were very strict with me, but also they did trust me in what I felt was necessary or was good for me at the moment. And so I'm very grateful that they trusted me. And then she was like, okay, fine, you can move to LA, but show me that check soon. Like I have to prove that like this industry is an actual industry, an actual career, and not just something that was like for shits and gigs. So then I showed her, my first check was from Garage, and I showed it to her and she was like, okay. Didn't really say anything after that, but it was up to me to kind of juggle school and starting this whole path. So that's basically what happened and how I got started. What are some tips for someone that wants to get into influencing? The number one tip, at least from my perspective, is, I say this all the time, but truly being yourself takes you far. Yes, you can get inspiration from trends, but don't try to base your whole image on trends or on what other people are doing. Really just be yourself. And there's so many different types of influencing. There's fashion, there's beauty, there's lifestyle, there's so many different types, but truly just find your own voice and your own image and just get out there. You never know who might find your videos. I'll definitely be finding your videos. And let me know if you guys are jump starting or wanting to jumpstart. I would love to check out your guys' videos or your content and support you guys. But yeah, I would say being yourself is really important. And the second thing is just being smart and holding yourself accountable, because I feel like influencing, you can always do that on the side. If you want to do influencing, it doesn't have to be your main career. I know so many people that do influencing that have a corporate job. They work anywhere. They can literally work anywhere and still do influencing. I would say just know who you are, and especially when you get started, just know your worth, because I feel like a lot of brands will try to like take advantage sometimes at first, which like granted, if you're not that big or you're just starting off, like you would be grateful for anything. But I would say just long term, and if you see that growth and you're like continuing to go, just know your worth and try to just stay true to yourself and have your own voice. Where did you go to college and how were your college years? So my freaking camera's dying. This always happens to me, but I went to Notre Dame and my years were amazing. I wanted to go to a college that I felt like, oh wow, I had that college experience. And I'm so grateful that I went to Notre Dame, because it gave me a lot of insight on having relationships with friends, having relationships with people, and just navigating a college campus. And because of that, I'm so happy to be in the city now, because I kind of had that college experience. People ask me, would you rather go into NYU or a city school? Honestly, back in the day, I would have said yes, but looking back now, I'm happy that I had that like college rah-rah experience. Obviously, I'm not gonna have that now, so I'm really happy about that. What is your family like? My family is my rock. I love my family so much. My mom's my twin. You guys have seen her in my content. She is truly the most wise person ever. Anytime I need some advice, I call my mom. I feel like there's no one like her, and I truly love her to death. And I know a lot of you guys wanna know more about like how I was raised and everything. And that's just basically it. It was very traditional. It was all about education, because, you know, we're Black and we had something like that to kind of just like, what am I trying to say? I'm basically trying to say is that as a Black family and as people of color, it was important to them to just uphold that education, and it didn't mean that education meant like monetary, like being able to spend on X, Y, and Z. It truly was just being smart in your own brain and knowing who you are as a person. So they were very strict on that, and I'm so happy that they were so strict looking back, because yeah, it was sucked and I was in the trenches back in the day, but honestly I owe it to them because they just made us more wise, my sisters and I think that's the best thing in the world, is just having, you know, the knowledge to move forward and to tackle certain situations. So that was basically what my family was like, very traditional and very strict. Weird question, but do you think your job could be balanced with another totally unrelated job? Yes, I think it could. My career is very taxing, in not in a negative way, but it does take a lot of time in different capacities. I do think that you can always like squeeze in something. I love being busy, even if it's hobbies or, you know, signing up for a new class and just like doing something for fun, even if it's like a language. I do think that there's always time to fit in something else in this career. In my first relationship after 4 years, any advice? I'm afraid of getting hurt even though I feel safe. I would say because you gave yourself the time within those 4 years to heal and to grow yourself as a person, I would say just to trust the process. And I'm a big believer in whatever is meant to happen will happen, and you just feel those energies. And I do think that if your gut is saying that you can't trust, then maybe it's not the right time. But if you know, can trust this person, but you're like yourself, like your own person is like still trying to battle this like battle, then I would say just take it one day at a time. Try to not overthink. I'm a big overthinker, so I know it's like easier said than done, but truthfully, try not to overthink, because I feel like that makes total difference. Yeah, just take it one day at a time, I would say, and try to navigate it and try to communicate with your partner on how you're feeling, because maybe your partner could reassure you in a certain way that you didn't get reassured before in your previous relationships. I'm not like assuming anything, I'm just saying like that's always nice, is for communication to take place, because I feel like that just provides some comfort, especially in relationships. Does it ever feel weird to be obligated to tell us your every move? Not really. I feel like I just love you guys so much that I genuinely love to share what I'm doing, but I never feel obligated. I feel like that's probably why on the weekends, for example, on Instagram, I'm kind of like MIA, because on the weekends, it's like my time just to like reset and regroup. I feel like my content's pretty honest. I don't really do things for other people's satisfaction. I do it because I actually love it and I care. I don't feel obligated to share every single part of my life. And if I don't want to do it, I just won't do it. And I don't think of it as like, oh, I can't believe I'm not sharing this. I just really don't do it. Majority of the time, I just love sharing with you guys. So I don't really ever feel obligated. How long have you and your fiance been together? We've been together for about 3 years. How did you and your fiance meet? We met at Soho Grand. It was kind of a frisky night. Okay, so I don't even know who's watching this, but yeah, we met at Soho Grand. Are you thinking of a small, micro, or larger wedding? Are you going to have it in New York City? We are not gonna have it in New York City, and I think that we are going to keep the number on 150. So I would say like kind of small, medium. Like I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a small number, but it's definitely not a big number at all. We want it to be pretty intimate and special and just share the night with our friends and family. How are you feeling about being engaged? I love it. I think it's so much fun. I honestly have been having more fun being engaged than not. It's so crazy because thinking about boys really consumes your brain. Like really consumes your brain. I remember when I was single, I was in the trenches. That's all I thought about. But right now, I am so happy because I don't think about boys. I literally think about work. I think about you guys. I think about my friends. I think about my family, and I keep it pushing. I don't really have any stressors regarding that. And it's crazy because we don't realize that it causes us so much stress. Like boys give us so much stress. And I'm just so happy right now in this time right now of like being engaged, and I'm having so much fun. By the way, you have a lot of fun. Like I love being a wing woman to my friends, so I got you guys if you guys need me. Destination wedding. It will not be a destination wedding. Favorite restaurants in New York City. Hi guys. First of all, what is going on with my camera? Okay, so my camera died And now I'm on my other camera. So disregard, I mean, we're almost done here. So I think that was my sign to hurry it the fuck up. But we were talking about my favorite restaurants in New York City. I was saying that Minetta Tavern is one of my favorite restaurants. Another favorite is Up Thai. I am obsessed with Up Thai. I think it's the best Thai food in the city. Some similar ones are like Soother, Fish Cheeks. I like Al Cheval a lot. But honestly, during the week, I really just cook at home. So I don't really eat out that much, but I genuinely crave Up Thai a lot. So I would say Up Thai is probably my favorite restaurant in New York City by far. I just love Thai food. So I feel like Thai is just like my cup of tea, low key. Do you ever want to have kids? If so, would you stay in New York City? I definitely want to have kids, not anytime soon, but I definitely want to have kids. And yeah, I think I would probably stay in New York City for maybe like the first kid, but I don't think I would raise my kids in New York City long term. Guy advice. Just focus on yourself, honestly. Put comments below if you guys have like specific guy advice questions, because guys just are so, it's just an interesting topic because it's just always trenches and it's a very complex conversation. So if you guys have specific questions that you guys want me to answer, let me know in the comments, because the guy advice range just goes beyond. So let me know if you guys have like specific questions. Engagement ring setting details. So my ring, wait, what's the shape of my ring again? I forgot. Okay. I literally just spaced out, but this is my ring. This is an emerald cut ring with a platinum setting. And yeah, very simple, timeless, but really pretty. So love it. Last question. What is something you're really excited about and looking forward to? Honestly, I am really excited about our wedding and just everything that is going to be going into it. I feel like just even sharing it with you guys is just gonna be a dream of mine. So yeah, I would say the wedding. I would say just me posting on here and just me having the platform on like all the different platforms. I just love sharing my life with you guys and being very honest with you guys and being there for you guys. So I would say I'm just always looking forward to my career, very grateful to be here, and that is it. So I feel like that was a pretty long Q&A. I have to get going, but let me know if you guys have any further questions below. I could do another catch-up video soon, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys were comfy while watching this video. I know I was very comfy, and hopefully it wasn't too cuckoo of me to wear a robe in a video, but it is what it is. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Kisses. Debbie is always here for you guys, and yeah, let me know how you guys are doing in the comments below. Love you.